So it's July, and all your friends are going to the beach and hanging out, but there's got to be a little bit of planning going on. This is what happens when you're a teacher. I normally give myself about a week, a couple of days on and off, or maybe a little bit longer depending on what I plan to do for the following year, some time to plan. That is what I recommend. And this video, I'm going to show you how, or give you suggestions on what to do so the following year seems smooth and seamless. Hang around. We're going to learn today. Now, I've got 3 preps. Normally 3 preparations, that's a term we use, it's just abbreviated, means that we have 3 different types of classes that we have to do throughout the year. One year I had 5. Last year I think I had 4. This year upcoming, I believe I have 3. So that's another thing. It's good to know what you're getting ahead of time, so during the summer you can kind of plan for it. So that's what I'm kind of doing. I know that for the most part there are 3 that I usually have, so I'm planning for those 3. If they add anything on later, I'll deal with that when I get to it. But for now, let's do the 3 that I normally have, and they are AP English Literature, AP English Language, and English Honors 4. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I kind of plan, and so you can take suggestions and parts of it if you will and kind of work with it. Here we go. By all means, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to be updated on the Angry Teacher videos when they're released. I don't want you to be left behind. I want you to be that teacher in the know. Let's get it. Hey, new teachers, listen up. During the year, you're going to have department meetings, you're going to have faculty meetings, you're going to have IEP meetings, you're going to have a meeting for almost everything. You're going to have to meet with parents. You might be approached to sponsor a club, to be a part of an event, to do things after hours, to do things during your planning. Don't worry, that's why we're planning ahead. So when these things come up, yes, you have to grade papers, yes, you have some stuff to do prior to the next class, but for the most part, your lessons are covered. Once again, if you've already watched my video on the lesson agenda, you already know what your class opener is going to be. So while those kids are working on that, you can catch up on the other parts of the lesson so that you'll have something cohesive. You'll know what you're doing and you don't have to stress. Your first year, it's not impossible, but it will be stressful. You're not used to this. You're going to have to worry about other things like classroom management. You're going to have to worry about your children being successful. You're going to have a whole lot of other things up to worry about, and your lessons should not be one of them. So you want to formulate a plan or a strategy or a format for how you're going to deliver all this information. How do you want them to learn, or what do you want them to learn by the end of the year? Formulate that format for them. For me, for my level of kids, because I teach the upper levels, 11th and 12th, I have a syllabus. I have 3 syllabi that I go by every year, and I tweak it during the summer, during my July, to make sure that, okay, last year this didn't work, next year I want to be able to do this, or because the climate has changed in America, or because I realize this is a strong topic, the kids kept asking for it last year, I will add something to my syllabus and kind of tweak and move stuff around as I see fit. So that's the first step. Kind of look and see what you need to teach throughout the whole year, what concepts. With that said, I've added some other stuff. Now this is where you get your books together. You get whatever you want to teach and you kind of read or you kind of look at the chapters, you figure out, okay, they can't do all of this. I'll assign just this for home learning, for homework all the time, or I'll give them, this is going to be my class opener. Remember when I did that video on how an agenda is supposed to look? Then these are things you kind of look at. Now you can have a class opener where they have math problems that they need to solve for each class opener, or there might be some philosophical questions for your theology class that they need to do for homework at the end of each day. Or at the end of the week, you have to complete at least 5 questions on this historical event. It's up to you. But these are the things that we look at, the individual works, the individual chapters, the individual sections of your year, of your book, of your text that you will be able to use to teach throughout the upcoming year. It's good to know because the pacing guides come into play, the standards that you need for your class, for that grade level, for that age group. So you can plan accordingly and your plans coincide with whatever the district or the state requires. So that's good. Now, some of you, especially in the younger grades like elementary and kindergarten and all those younger kids, those teachers usually plan as a grade level. So that's something you probably need to you might have to wait on some of this stuff, but it's always good to have the first week, first year, first day kind of idea of where you want the class to go and how you want it to work out. So whenever they have those standards and whatever else you need to teach, well, you can just kind of plug it in, but you still have some form of autonomy in your class as to how you want this to roll out, okay? For everybody else, you have to determine what is the purpose of your year. What do you want your kids to know? What do you want to share with them throughout the year? This is kind of, it goes back to basically what people say, planning with the end in mind. This is how we do it. You kind of know, you go through, okay, I want them to be able to perform this chemistry experiment by the end of the year, so this is how I'm going to have to lay all the lessons down so they'll get it. I want my kids to be able to take the ACT or the SAT by the end of the year, so these are the lessons I'm going to throw in. I'm going to have them do this activity and all that. This is what we're doing. We're kind of planning ahead of the game so that when we get into the building, we'll know what we're doing. So have those things settled and you'll be good to go. All right, cool. So we've aligned the text, the chapters on the text, the sections that you want to use. You've aligned them with what topics or units you want to teach. Great. Now with my syllabus, and let me know if you want me to do a video on how to put together a syllabus. All right, because I know some teachers have asked me in the past and I've kind of shown them mine, but I've never actually taught them how to do it. Let me know, okay, in the comments below. In any case, this is where I look at not just the ideas that I want to teach, not just the works that I want to teach, but I look at the dates of events. Now I put these in my syllabus because especially in high school where I teach, there's a lot going on. So for example, my English Renaissance unit takes a while. It starts before Christmas break and it ends after we come back for the new year. In that time, the kids have a lot going on, so I have to make sure I don't split an act of Shakespeare, whichever one we're reading. I think this year, and I'm still planning, but I think we're reading Hamlet this year. I don't want to split an act, so we have to either finish an act before we go on the break or complete it after we come back. These are things to think about. During the Renaissance, one of the longest periods that I have to teach, we do a lot of poetry. And I still kind of have to figure out how these kids, because it's just before Christmas, so they have different shows that they have to do in the building. They have different performances. They have different sporting events. So these are things you think about while you're putting together your syllabus for the new year. New teachers, you may not know that yet, but once again, this is why we're planning ahead. So whenever something comes up, you can kind of adjust as you see fit and not freak out when somebody tells you, oh no, the kids won't be in the building. Oh no, there's a field trip. You will already know, okay, there's a field trip, but I can move this after the field trip, or I can get them to do something prior to the field trip. Yes, sure. The Teacher's Lounge is up next. Hey, welcome to the Teacher's Lounge. This is one of my favorite parts of the videos. This is where I share what grinds my gears. I give you little tips, or I share with you what makes me driven for 18 plus years in education. My kids. We can talk about everything, and those will be the things we'll talk about. Today, however, I'm gonna give you 2 tips that will help you. Hang around. Tip 1, standing by the door. Make sure you're there greeting each child as they come in. And once you get in, you turn around and you look at the class, you tell them a greeting. Good afternoon, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, whatever it is that you say to them, let them know that you respect them no matter where they're from, no matter who they are, no matter how old they are, you're still going to give them respect. In regards to standing in the door, this is where you get to see the kids. You get to see their attitude, see how they're feeling. If somebody's coming in who's kind of sad and not in the mood for anything today, you know to okay, let me give you some time, get yourself together, come back later, or come back later. Go to the restroom, stop crying, come back. Or if the person's coming with a lot of energy, yeah, I like your energy, we're gonna get some stuff done today. We have all of this, you can kind of advertise what's gonna happen in your lesson and get them excited for that educational experience in your room. Tip 2, this is also a part of your classroom energy and excitement and management. Let them come to your class for a reason. Let them know that it's not just about learning. This is an experience. I want to be in that class because in that class we do X. Because in that class I feel such and such. In that class I like being there because we are a different breed. We're experiencing different things. We are treated differently. We are looked on as a different set of people. However you want that to be, that's fine. Make sure there's learning, but make sure it's an experience for them that they want to be there. Make sure that the lessons keep them going. Make sure that the lessons are something that they're always excited about. You know what? I can always talk to that teacher. That's something I like, so I'll always be there. Whatever your reasons, let that room be one of experience. And I don't have a lot of time to go into it anymore, but if you want me to, leave a comment and we'll talk about it. Thanks for coming to class today. Let's go out there and be great. Hey, let's go out there and teach.